Boba Fett actor speaks out the truth about his sidelining in The Mandalorian. What's up guys, Siege of Clones here. Today we're going to be talking about the actor himself, Temuera Morrison, Boba Fett himself, and everything that has been going on when it comes to his appearance in The Mandalorian Season 3. So, let's get into it. Alright everybody, if you didn't know, Boba Fett was supposed to appear in The Mandalorian Season 3, but unfortunately he didn't, and Temuera Morrison did speak out about this and gave a reason why. And quote, "I was supposed to be in The Mandalorian Season 3, but nobody rang me. I was waiting for the phone call in New Zealand, waiting and wanting to give up." I must be honest, this is very, very disappointing to hear, as all of us Star Wars fans love Temuera Morrison, and we were hoping for Boba Fett to show up in The Mandalorian Season 3, especially since he was quite prominent in The Mandalorian Season 2. And I believe we could all agree, Boba Fett in The Mandalorian has been a nice breath of fresh air. Hell, in The Mandalorian Season 2, Boba Fett was a badass. And we all just wanted to see more of that, especially with how he was treated in his own show. If you all didn't know, in the Book of Boba Fett, the Mandalorian, Din Djarin, did show up for over 2 episodes, which, let's be honest, that's pretty crazy, especially since these episodes were primarily focused on Din Djarin and Grogu. So people were a bit upset about that since it took the spotlight away from Boba Fett. Temuera Morrison would go on to talk about this as well, and quote, "Well, that Mando guy stole a few chapters of my book," the actor shared. "It was painful watching him turn up with some black new lethal sword, and the way he turned up in my Book of Boba, he just destroyed everybody. I'm sure this guy is, ruining my show, but I couldn't say anything. I'm not the writer, so I have to bear it, I guess." As you all know, I love The Mandalorian. It is one of my favorite pieces of Star Wars media ever, but I don't think Din Djarin or Grogu should have showed up in the Book of Boba Fett. That is his content alone. Yes, you can have Din Djarin show up, but not be the primary focus for a couple episodes. That makes no sense. You didn't see Boba Fett being the primary focus of a couple episodes in The Mandalorian, now did you? No. Boba Fett showed up in there, nice, but he wasn't the focus, which was pretty cool. And they could have done the same thing for the Book of Boba Fett. They could have had Din Djarin in there, have some screen time, but not have it all focused on him. And to see that the Book of Boba Fett took away the spotlight from Boba Fett himself is very disappointing. And I like to think that is one of the reasons that the show wasn't really received that well. Temuera Morrison also went on to say, in quote, "I think there's a few changes going on. We also come under the big umbrella known as Disney now too. So it's one of the last few conversations we had in LA. The conversation started like, oh look, we're having a few changes. We're having a few cutbacks. And then when you hear that at the other end of the line, it's no good trying to negotiate any more money, that's for sure. So we'll see what happens." I've got to say, Disney has definitely mishandled the character of Boba Fett when it comes to his own show, when it comes to not implementing him in The Mandalorian Season 3, especially when he was pretty prominent towards the end of Season 2 of The Mandalorian. The whole thing is very disappointing. Temuera Morrison deserves better, especially with his impact on the Star Wars franchise as a whole. And you can tell this character means a lot to him. Hell, Boba Fett means a lot to all of us. So with all of this being said, I'm hoping that Disney does make changes for the better going forward. I do hope that we see a Book of Boba Fett Season 2, and I feel Temuera Morrison should have more of a say when it comes to the character of Boba Fett, because he is such an integral part of the Star Wars universe. Let's discuss this in the comments down below. What are your thoughts on this whole situation? Do you think Temuera Morrison was in the wrong to talk about all this, or do you agree with him and everything that's going on with Disney when it comes to the handling of Boba Fett? If you enjoyed this Star Wars video, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel for more Star Wars content like this. I hope you all have a wonderful day, and I hope to see you all back here Friday for another Star Wars video. Until then, peace out.